What's going on? Pandy here of Pandy's Hair Candy and more. How's everybody doing? It is Sunday, June 9th, 2019, and I am coming back on here, y'all, with my review slash commentary on games people play. We are in season 1, episode 7. I'm a little bit late, but I'm not totally late, y'all. The new episode will be out this Tuesday, and I'm going to do my darndest to get it to you within the week. But I want to stay consistent with this because, like I said in my previous review, the show is getting good, y'all. Things are heating up, okay? So I'm going to just jump right into it. First of all, if this is your first time stopping over, thank you for taking the time to come and rock with your girl. Please hit the like button on your way in, and please take a moment to hit the subscribe. I am a newer YouTuber and I am trying to build up my subscribers. So please, it's free. It don't cost you nothing. Take a moment and tap on that subscription bell so that you can receive all the notifications when I upload new content to the channel. I thank you and I appreciate you in advance. And let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. All right. So we are on Games People Play. Season 1, episode 7. The title is Persons of Interest. Okay, and if y'all see me glancing down, it was so deep, and there's so many different scenarios and twists in this series that I have to take notes just so that I can kind of stay on track and not just be rambling through the video. So y'all, that's what I'm doing. All right. So this episode had began with Detective Loomis at a bar having drinks, sitting down, watching the game. As he's watching the game, who does he notice sitting courtside on the TV screen? None other than Officer Sherry Cooper. She was the original black cop who initially interviewed Marcus and Vanessa King after the fight at the hotel, when Vanessa caught him creeping with the former dancer, Kalinda Walters. Okay? When Officer Sherry arrived at work the next day, Detective Loomis was waiting by the door. He immediately hems her up and gives her the third degree and starts questioning her about what she did the night before. When she shares that she was checking out the game, he goes, "Okay, so was I on TV. How'd you get the courtside tickets?" So, they're walking back into the precinct. He basically confronts her and asks her straight up, "So, was this a payoff? Did you get the courtside tickets in exchange for the hotel surveillance tape from the night of the disappearance / murder of Kalinda?" She denies. They later show her walking out of the precinct carrying her belongings in the box. They didn't ever clearly indicate whether or not she was fired or she quit, but nonetheless, she lost her job either way. The next scene, Marcus and Vanessa are out having dinner, basically in an effort to try to rekindle their flame because, his constant cheating. And mind you, remember, she ran into the ex-college classmate, and she's kind of been doing her little thing on the side too. So they're out having dinner, basically trying to get back in a better space. Both of their cell phones receive texts. He tries to downplay his, but when hers goes off, she looks at it and says, "I'm assuming that was the same message that I got." They're being asked to come back to the police station in the morning for further questioning. Later, we jump ahead to Nia's office. MJ gets a call. It's an anonymous call. The call is coming in offering first dibs at the story of the leaked hotel surveillance tape. She basically calls in and say, "Hey, I got a tape of that girl, Vanessa King, and that dead girl." Okay. He runs in and informs Nia of what the caller is offering. And we can clearly tell from watching the show that the caller is definitely Officer Sherry Cooper. Nia doesn't want no parts of it. But MJ is kind of torn, is visibly torn between his loyalty to Nia and his passion for what it is that they do as gossip journalists. Okay? Nia tells him straight up she wants no part of the interview and that if he has a problem with it, he can pack his shit up and head back to New York. She even further goes on to tell him she'll pay for the ticket. Okay? So he gets back on the phone. He declines. Next, we jump ahead to Eric. Eric is Nia's current IT boyfriend. Remember last week or last episode, he popped up and did a surprise visit to LA. They had been doing the whole long distance thing. He is standing outside of the precinct waiting for Terrence, the ex-man, the ex-college boyfriend of Nia to come out of the building. When he comes out, he approaches him telling him that he wants to file a complaint against somebody stalking his girlfriend. Terrence is like, okay, cool, walk with me. So they're walking and talking, and he tells him, what's your deal? What's your deal with Nia? And he says, Eric, right? I recognize you from the pictures at her house. Boom, that was a slap to his ego because he didn't even realize that he had been to the house. Okay. T straight up tells him that he thinks she's beautiful and he would love to get back with her. Can we say bold? Okay. Later, Nia apologizes to MJ for snapping on him earlier, and they catch up on the fact that she's been a little stressed and overwhelmed about her and Eric's issues. The fact that they're not getting it in at all, and he's leaving to head back to New York the next day. MJ gives her his antics and advice on what she needs to be doing to get her man right before he leaves, and they flash forward to Golden Goddess. Golden Goddess makes an unannounced pop-up visit to the modeling agency where she first met Roxanne in episode 1. Roxanne is a cold hustler because she goes to this modeling agency and she sits and acts like she's just sitting there as these women are going and auditioning for these lines or these roles. And as these women come out, she approaches them with an offer to make money working for her, when in all essence she's really a handler and it's really prostitution that she's getting them into. But I guess a struggling actress has got to do what a struggling actress has got to do, right? So anyway, Golden Goddess, Layla James, she pops up at the agency where she first met her and she confronts her about her friend Susie Q. She states the fact that she's missing since taking on a side gig on Sunday. Right then, at the mention of that, Roxanne stops her in her tracks and tells her, hey, I don't know nothing about nothing on no Sunday. But what I do know is that she stole from some friends of mine that ain't the type to take too kindly to being scammed. And in all honesty, if you knew it was good for you, you would get the heck up out of Dodge too. Before, and I quote, you get killed too. So Roxanne dropped a little bit of tea right there that she already knows old girl is dead. And if you keep barking up these people's tree, you gonna be next. Okay? I don't know why this girl is not peeping game and taking heed, but it is what it is. Okay? Meanwhile, Marcus and Vanessa both decide to go prep with their lawyers. Remember, they got separate lawyers. Vanessa and Marcus, wait a minute, I'm jumping ahead, y'all. My bad. They flash forward to Nia's house or apartment or whatever it is she lives in. Nia's sitting there chilling, dressed all seductively, waiting on Eric to come in the door, and he immediately comes in and grabs his suitcase and starts packing. She's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm packing. And she's like, but you're not leaving until tomorrow. He's like, no, I talked to Terrence today. And she's like, you talked to him? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, so did you bump into him or did you track him down? Because remember, he's an IT guy and he has been tracking and hacking and getting sources and stories for her before. So she knows he's fully capable of doxing old boy and getting that information. Okay, nevertheless, he's not here for it. She tries to explain that she simply contacted him at the request of Vanessa, basically to have him do some work for her in an effort to help her with Marcus's situation. Eric is not here for it, okay? He's not trying to hear it. He feels betrayed. They argue. She storms out. And they flash from that scene. Meanwhile, we're back at the police station. They separate Marcus and Vanessa. They're questioning them separately. Okay? They want to re-question them about knowing Kalinda Walters and basically what that relationship was, and they tried to use a divide and conquer tactic. And I'd say they was kind of successful in how they did it. Once alone questioning Vanessa, they hit her with evidence of herself. They used herself against herself, and they hit her with the video footage of her violently chasing a naked, now deceased Kalinda out of the hotel, hurling aggressive, violent threats of when I see you again, I'ma kill you. Okay? I mean, how could she come back from that? It's you in your own words chasing this woman out of this room. When they got Marcus there, they wanted to know, well, how many of times you slept with her? How long was the relationship? Did you care for her? Well, what about the fact that she was pregnant? They dropped that bombshell on him. He apparently didn't know she was pregnant based on his response. Okay? They wrap up their questions at the precinct, and on their way leaving out, lo and behold, guess who's sitting there waiting to speak with an officer? None other than Layla James herself, aka Golden Goddess. Okay? She speaks with Detective Loomis regarding her friend Susie. Detective Loomis is not at all impressed with her, and he's very reluctant to talk with her and take her report seriously, considering the fact that she was very uncooperative with him when he initially went to her apartment to question her about the disappearance of Kalinda. I think we saw that in episode 1 or 2. Okay? Once Vanessa arrives back at home, the paparazzi is everywhere. They are snapping photos, they are hopping fences, they are all over the property. Okay? She calls Nia, trying to basically fill her out because she low-key believes that she leaked the video. I don't really understand their friendship. She act like she low-key don't really trust Nia, but Nia's so down for her and always trying to protect her and her feelings. It's just a interesting dynamic if y'all have picked up on that. Okay? After she hangs up the phone talking to Vanessa, Nia's boss, who is also a soror of their college sisterhood, she comes in and she tells Nia, why didn't you take the story? And she's like, I didn't know about it. And she's like, yeah, right. She said, I don't blame you for not taking it. I passed on it as well. She said, but at the end of the day, you need to get the real story of who really did it and make it worthwhile because they're big shots here in LA and we need the real tea. Okay. Next, the basketball wives, as I would like to call them, they arrive holding a whole damn photo shoot / press conference at Vanessa and Marcus's house. Okay, I mean, they got out posing for the paparazzi, standing there really posing like it was a professional photo shoot. Like they were fully dressed and glammed up, and it was interesting. Okay. They come there acting like they were there to show Vanessa some support, but y'all already know what it is. Okay. A, they're trying to feel her out, basically, to see if she really did it, since they're now business partners with her in the winery. And B, they're simply being nosy. Okay. Meanwhile, Marcus, he's dealing with some sort of ankle injury that he's trying to conceal from his team and from, most importantly, from Vanessa. Kareem, the homie, he hooks him up with some doctor off the books. Okay, and they're getting off the books steroid injections in the foot. He's trying to alleviate the pain because remember, he ain't been to practice in like a week or two. Okay. Later, they show Terrence back at Nia's house again to update her on the details of the police investigation. He shares with her that Eric did approach him. She apologizes for getting him involved. And at that point, y'all, he leans in to let her know that he wants to be more involved. And he don't care about Eric, what that got to do with him. And he kisses her before he goes out the door. Honey, I don't know. At this point, I think Eric is gone. He bounced back to New York, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. But there's definitely some sexual tension there. She's definitely physically attracted to him. He ain't a bad looking man, but her loyalty to Eric and their relationship has obviously got her at a crossroads, okay? Next, they show Marcus has finally resurfaced back for practice after missing like the previous week or two, and he's visibly unfit to practice, let alone play in a game, okay? He's limping. I think he fell, and it's just becoming obvious that he has something serious going on. Next, we go to a scene where Vanessa is at home and she's calling Nia. And for the life of me, I'm not sure why Nia is sharing with Vanessa, the situation and the facts between her and Terrence and her and Eric. Nonetheless, they discuss it. And they also just, matter of fact, she didn't call. I think they were sitting down to have dinner. Matter of fact, yeah, they were at Vanessa's house because they were getting ready to eat. And Vanessa threw one of her tantrums that she usually does with Nia and tells her that she needs to get a homegirl straight. Talking about Golden Goddess, Layla James. And she's like, what, now? And she's like, yeah. So Nia reaches out to call Golden Goddess and basically let her know, or try to feel her out, basically, to see, a friend of mine told me they seen you at the precinct today. And she's like, yeah, I saw them, but I wasn't there for them. My friend is missing. They discuss that, and Golden Goddess and Nia decide, okay, because at this point, Nia's like, okay, so Kalinda also worked for Roxanne. Your friend that's now missing worked for Roxanne. You were working for Roxanne, so do you think that all this is related? And she's like, yes, I do. And she's like, well, can we meet tomorrow? She's like, yeah, come by my apartment in the morning. So they agree to get off the phone, and they're going to meet up in the morning. So now we fast forward to the next day. They show Golden Goddess in her house tidying up, look like she's making some coffee. She's preparing for Nia to come. Okay, there's a knock on her door. Remember, she's expecting Nia, so she hollers for whoever it is to come on in. The next thing we see some hands snatch her up. And, the next scene is she is in the trunk of a car. And that is where the episode ends, y'all. So again, there's a lot of suspense, a lot of drama, A lot of nail biters, a lot of sexual tension, just a lot of everything, and I'm here for it. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know if you caught this episode or not. What are your thoughts? Did I capture everything? I truly tried to capture the whole episode and summarize it for you guys so that if you aren't able to catch it, you can catch up with your girl. All right. Thanks again for stopping by. Again, I do apologize for being so late with the commentary, but I'm here nonetheless. Please like the video on your way out if you didn't do so on your way in, and please tap the notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload my next video. Until next time, y'all, I will holler at y'all later. Have a good night. Bye.